We're off. Turn my mic up. Let's do this. DTM. Delta Tango mic. Let's see which camera we're gonna roll with. Just make sure it's ready. Get my camera right. Get my camera right. And let's stop the music. This is Delta Tango Mike, DTM. It's time for another coffee break with DTM. And this is going to be the last one for 2019. The last one for the decade. I don't understand this number thing because everything starts with 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 2020 should be the last year of the decade. But whatever, that's fine. If that's how we're going to do our math, all right, let's do it that way. But I am Delta Tango Mike. I have my cup of coffee. Oh, yeah. Love good coffee. It's important to, if you're going to do something, to do it well, do it great, and get the best. And I didn't understand coffee in the beginning. This is a sidebar, sorry, coffee story. And a friend of mine once asked about getting some coffee. I was like, yeah, they got some down at the gas station. And I used to drink gas station coffee. I'm not against it. To this day, there's still some good flavors out there, but that kind of coffee is instant. It's a mix, whatever. And until I started buying coffee beans and grinding it, and because I thought that's what you do if you're a real coffee drinker, if you're a connoisseur, if you're a kind of person who wants to enjoy the good things, the better things, the quality things, then I started doing that. And it makes a big difference. It makes a big difference on how it tastes. It makes a big difference on how it makes you feel. And you get a certain appreciation for ground coffee that you grind at your house and brew it. And so that's what I encourage you to do. Go for the best. Try for the best. Give it your all. All right, so let's get into what's going on. What's it about today? I'm going to switch cameras because I can do that. And if you notice, there's a list up there. And so in today's message, today being the last day of 2019, it is December 31st. It is 3 o'clock in Atlanta. I think it's already midnight somewhere else. So it might be 2020. It might be the future somewhere. It's always the future somewhere. It's always the past somewhere else. In any case, today's message and the message that I want to take on to the new year and to the new decade for you is that you have to start now. Start right now. Whatever it is that you want to do, whatever it is that you're after, whatever it is you want to accomplish, you have to start now. And let me start by checking the audio here. We good. And so I have a list in the back, and I'm going to show you that list right now. And it says, start now. Podcasting, drawing, writing, blogging, streaming, dancing, singing, recording, producing, publishing, sketching, attending, creating, watching, learning, applying, searching, asking, collaborating, contributing, and submitting. That's just a quick list that means a lot of things. And the point is that whatever it is that you want to accomplish in your life, whatever it is that you want to work towards, whatever it is that you want to see happening in your life at some point in the future, you have to start that now. Anytime I go live and with my phone, or even if I watch it on my phone, like I can watch my live right now on Facebook, same live you're looking at the end of that live, it tells me how many times. Oh, look at that! I haven't switched my camera. It tells me how many times I've gone live. It tells me I'm over at 500 live streams now on Facebook, and let me tell you, I kind of have a rhythm for it. I kind of know what I want to say. I know how I want to structure it. I messed up and I did not change my camera the way I should have, but I know what it is when it comes to lighting, when it comes to background, when it comes to a ton of things that I've learned along the way. But this path on live streaming started a long time ago, before even Facebook allowed live streaming, before there was any live stream on Facebook, before it became a thing. I don't know, I'm sure Instagram was already around. There's this platform called Ustream. I don't know who even watches it. I don't know who's even there. Thank you everybody for the love. Those of you who are watching, I can see, I have a screen over there where I can see what's happening on Facebook. So if you have a comment or something, please leave it behind so I can answer. But it was a platform called Ustream. I don't know if they had an app or something. I forgot exactly how. But we started Artist King, which was called Black Book Conversations. It was a monthly meetup in 2012 or so, and we started it in collaboration with Binders Art Store and Buckhead, and not Hippopotamus. It's called I forgot the name of the place. It's something hippopotamus, but it's not a hippopotamus. In any case, the first time or second time we had the meetup, by then I had already met and known Liberty White for a little bit, and she asked to come and stream it. And I was like, cool, let's do it. I didn't know really what that meant. I didn't know what was really going to happen. But the day of, she showed up with her cameras. I mean, she got some real professional cameras. She had a computer up and everything was connected and wired. And I was like, whoa, that's a lot of stuff. In any case, what ended up happening is that we did our meetup and our panel discussion, and she streamed it. And it was that one time I saw that happening that I thought to myself, I want to know how to do that. And so that's it. I started to try to figure it out. And that it was my start. Like, you had to start somewhere. And so I might have asked her a few questions. I might have asked a couple of people a few questions, but I grabbed my phone. In those days I had, let me see if I can grab that phone. I might have had an iPhone 4 in those days, a black one, and then, or an iPhone 3. I can't remember what I had in those days, but I had that. And so I was like, okay, well, let me start the Ustream with the phone. And my start was just trying to find a way where I can just lean the phone on something so I can capture what's being said. And so we started a program called League of Art Entrepreneurs. And I'm trying to find a course so I can charge this up. League of Art Entrepreneurs. And so there was an attorney, and she is her name is Deborah Gonzalez, and she is an IP attorney and artist attorney, creative attorney. And she was teaching our classes and giving a small number of artists, small class of 12 artists, information and resources on how to be professional and launch our careers with as much business knowledge as possible. And so that's what I was doing. I was just putting the phone up, leaning it on a book or something, and just kind of just leaning it somewhere, and bam, streaming it to Ustream. As I kept on doing that, I realized, hey, the audio sounds terrible. I need to do something about that. And so then I got a microphone. And as time's gone on, I started collecting things and grabbing phones and trying different things. I've had Windows phones. I still got a collection of old phones because I don't throw them away. I don't give them away. I do trade them. And so I started with what I had at the time. Today, I got a couple of iPhones. There's one there, there's one here. I have another iPhone sitting right here, which is connected to the microphone that you can hear me on. Yes, I have a mix of technology today. But when I started, I knew what I had, and I knew that I wanted to do something related to what I just saw. I didn't know how to do it, and I never tried it. But I started. So I went ahead and started. And so the point of the story is that until you start, you're not going to have an idea whether you're doing it right or wrong. You're not going to have a place to ask questions to understand the answers. We get caught up, artists get caught up, and thank you, Christopher Williams. Thank you, Juan Parra. Appreciate you. We get caught up in asking questions. Well, what if this and what if that? And what if I try this? What's going to happen when I do that? And there's some words. It's a phrase that is that you kind of you try to go through so much information that you freeze up and you never actually do this thing that you want to do. And so so as artists and creatives, we're always thinking of ideas. We're always thinking of something that we want to do, but we have questions and we don't. And it's a lot of it is unknown. The things that we're going to do, where's it going to lead, and how we're going to feel about it. Is it going to be any good? It feels very unknown. And so we start asking questions. We start looking for advice. But until you have taken a step in that direction, there's really not much advice we can give when you don't understand the basic fundamentals of what it is that you're doing. So live streaming. Let's take live streaming as an example. So I didn't know what equipment we needed. I didn't know how to get myself on camera and express and talk and say the things that I needed to say in a way that it makes sense and that you can follow my thought pattern or the things that, or my points and my themes. And so those were things that I had to practice. So the very first live streams, they're terrible. I sound terrible. I look terrible. The video quality is terrible. The audio is terrible. The lighting is terrible. It's all bad. It's all bad. But it is through time that I keep doing and keep going. And then one day, Facebook made live streaming on Facebook available through your phone. And so here I am at General Assembly after the end of one of my classes, because I teach Photoshop and Illustrator, and I run into Liberty White. Again, Liberty White, like, she is way ahead when it comes to video production. She's a professional. She's hardcore. You got to pay up to work with her. And I run into her. She starts talking about Facebook and how now you can do Facebook Live with your phone. Like, you just turn it on, flip the switch, and boom, you're in Facebook Live. And it's like, okay, well, I had seen it. I had heard about it. I hadn't tried it yet. So we went live right then and there. And then she asked me, well, what are you going to do with the Facebook Live? How are you going to use it in your career? And I was like, boom, I'm going to teach. I'm going to share my knowledge. I'm going to talk about those things that I know. And that's when I started slowly cementing my message and what all this is going to be about, this live streaming is about. And so then as time goes on and I start collecting gear, I had already been publishing podcasts by then. My wife sits me down and says, listen, you're going live a lot. You're spending a lot of time. You're pulling up resources and started to invest in it. We got to find the focus. What's it about? And how do you monetize? What is the goal here? Where does this going to take you? See, it was through those steps of me learning and coming across resources and applying certain things that then you start finding your place and understanding what you're about, and then what's your vision for it. And until you start, you're not going to get to that conversation. We get, when I say we, I mean myself too, artists, creatives, we get ahead of ourselves and start counting the cash, but you haven't started the business. We start counting about what certain things are worth, or what kind of investments we need to make, what kind of equipment we need to have, and we haven't even started figuring out what's our message. What is it that we want the world to know about us, or what's the point here? I talk to artists all the time about starting a podcast, and I'm like, well, what is it that you want? How are you going to pay for it? Everything in the beginning, and it's going to come up with is going to come out your pocket. But as time goes on, you're going to have to start thinking about different parts, eventually the part of paying for things. And so until you take that first step, until you understand what you're doing, understand a little bit about what it is that you don't know, you're not going to be able to find the other answers. And that's why the point in my message today is start now. And it's called Start Now 2020, right? Because 2020 starts tomorrow or tonight. It starts in 9 hours. And that means is that there is no wrong time to begin. The right time is now. But you're going to have to put in that time. You're going to have to put in that dedication. You're going to have to put in that learning. You're going to have to put in the brain power to organize your thoughts, to organize your workflow, to find out information from others so that you can slowly build out what it is that you want and find the answers that is going to allow you to understand who you are and what's your message about. Some of the people I've come across were on Facebook. I saw them go live. I saw them show off their screen and show off Illustrator and Premiere. And I was like, boom, I want to add that into my workflow. And so I did. So I figured out a way to tap into my, there it is, into my screen, show off my screen, boom, throw in like where's my face gonna be, how's my setup gonna look, what's my workflow about. You have to, as time went on, I was able to reach out to other artists and ask them, hey, how do we do this thing? How did you accomplish that? They give me links, they give me resources, and then I start applying it. But until you start, no matter what they say to me, it's still gonna look like a long list, a big list of something that is gonna take me a while to figure out. And because it's a long list and you're looking at all the steps that it's gonna take, you keep putting it off. You keep putting it off. Well, the days, thank you, sir, Mr. Gary. I got cut off. I got sidetracked. Looks great. Thank you, Les. I appreciate you. I know what I was talking about. It looks like a long list. So when you're looking at what it is that you want to accomplish, where your goals are, some of the talks that I have with artists is, what are the steps that are going to allow us to get there? And when I say us, I mean you, because I'm already working on my steps. And when you look at the whole path, it looks like a long to-do list. And then that's when we wait and it's like, it feels like a lot of work. And it is a lot of work. So what I want you to do is don't focus on all that long list. Think about your next step. What are the short, actionable steps that you can take right now to start? And so I had an example of somebody who was, well, here's another example of artists who want to start. They always ask me, hey, Dan, which is the tablet do I need? Do I need a Surface? Do I need an iPad? What kind of computer do I need? Blah, blah, blah. The first question I ask is like, well, let me see your artwork. Let me see what you've created so far and where your drawing skills are right now, to even see what's going to help you into the next step, and what is your goal, what is your vision for yourself, to then even see if that's even something that you need right now. And a lot of times, unfortunately, I have to tell artists, hey, let me see your drawings. The answer is, well, I haven't drawn much. I said, well, then don't worry about what kind of computers are out there. Don't worry about what tablet is out there. What you need is a stack of paper and a bunch of pencils. We have to work on the next step right now. The next step we can actually take a hold of and do before we start looking at this long list and feeling defeated already. We have to master this thing that we're doing, like a ladder, like a staircase, step by step. And it is through step by step before we can get to the next level, the next floor. And you shouldn't be looking at how many floors you got to go. You shouldn't be looking at how many steps there are. Just look at that step that you have to handle right now. And if you focus on small, actionable steps, and then, bam, take it from there. Now, if you have a computer, if you have a tablet, start your art career with what you got right then. If you don't have a computer, you don't have a tablet, then start with the traditional materials that you can get a hold of now. Pencils are super cheap. You can get buy a whole pack of 20 pencils for $2. I don't know, maybe $5. They're pretty cheap. Number 2 pencils. Yes, when you try out a $10 pencil, the quality, you can tell the quality is much better and you feel more comfortable when you're drawing. But that number 2 pencil works just as well. Copy paper works just as well. You don't need a fancy sketchbook. Little by little, you can work your way up into those things that you need, that depending on what step you're in. And the further up in those steps you're getting, then you start looking around, well, what are my options now? What are my preferences now? What is my budget now? If we have to calm ourselves, focus on what's next, and start right now. If you want to start a YouTube channel, do it. Are you going to be a big YouTube star? Who knows? There's still YouTube stars being made right now. It happens. There's some 8-year-old who's a YouTube star. Great. But that's not why you start a YouTube channel. Think about what it is what's the reason for you. Are you there to share something? Are you there to teach? Are you there to build your confidence? Are you there to build your talent? No matter what level of drawing you're in, if you start streaming it and you're consistent and you show off this motivation that you have, you'll grow an audience and people start cheering for you. It could be just for that. Whatever your reasons are, whatever it is that you want to do, you have to start now. And right now it's going to be 2020. And right now is the time to get started, so that eventually, years down the line, then you have the things that you want. You're working in the industry that you want to work in, and you're able to reach the success that you have defined for yourself. That's my message for today. I have a lot of tiny little examples, and I can go on and on and on. Right now, I just want you to see that I am here to work on my goals, to make sure that I finish what I started. I have a lot of projects that I jumped on. I have a lot of personal projects that I want to see come into the world and share with others. And I'm going to continue to stream. I'm going to continue to document the game. I'm going to continue to do the coffee break with DTM. Let me take a sip real quick. This is my big cup. This is my big cup. I'm going to continue to collaborate with others because I want to grow as an artist. I want my message to grow and reach more people. I want my audience to grow. I want my collaborations to grow and the client base that supports my work to grow. I just want to draw. I want to draw every day. I want to create every day. I want to be involved in the creative process and live streaming, publishing, producing video, producing content, drawings, and so on is part of that whole. So check me out, Delta Tango Mike. I am DTM. I am on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and I am sharing a lot of digital drawing and Adobe Illustrator, Adobe Fresco art workflows to those who want to learn the digital art. It's on Patreon. So check that out. Tag me in your work. Let me know what you're working on. And come on out to the meetups. So you got to start. If you want to start on that career path, if you want to start on the career path as a creative, as an artist, as a developer, as a podcast, there's lots of meetups. There's lots of places where you can go and meet other people and feel that creative energy and get going. I do have one last tip. For those artists who are doing their art thing, and being creative and need tablets or a computer or something. I'm a hoarder and I got a few computers now. And I don't understand professional artists who don't have at least a second computer for backup. You got to always have a backup. For those of you who don't have a backup, and for those of you who need the use of a computer, libraries have computers. I was at this library not too long ago, a couple years ago now, it's been a while. Brand new library in Marietta. It's got Mac computers. Whole lab full of Mac computers. You just need a library card to walk in, say hello, and sit on a computer. Here's another big tip. Happy New Year, everybody. Word up. Thank you for the comments. Another tip. Walk into the Microsoft store. Come and hang out at the Microsoft store. Walk on in, say hello. Be nice to the people who work there. I like to bribe people with stickers. I bring in stickers. I walk in. Whenever I walk in, be like, hey, how you doing? You like stickers? Here's a sticker of of a Mexican dude with a boombox. Let me see if I can get this right. No, it won't go. No, it won't go. Okay. Any case, I got stickers. I walk in, hand out stickers, say hello to everybody. Hey, I'm Dan the Man. This is my Instagram, Delta Tango Mike. Check me out. I'm an artist. I just want to hang out for a little bit. Can I draw on one of the Surface Studios? A Surface Studio is a big computer like this. It's huge. It's 27 inches. Touchscreen. It supports the Surface Pen, and I got mine right here. So first, it supports the Surface Pen. You can draw on it, and they'll let you draw there all day. Literally, you can create your professional work or your portfolio work right there in the Microsoft Store and use one of their computers for free. You just have to be nice. You have to be nice, get to talk to people, get to know their names. Say, hey, do you mind if I sat here and drew for 2 hours on this Surface Studio? No, go for it. It's cool. Cool. I break out my thumb drive, I plug it into the back of the computer, so as I'm working, I'm saving my files into the thumb drive. One thing you have to understand when it comes to computers and laptops and tablets and iPads and these stores is that when they sit idle for a couple minutes, there's a program that wipes out everything that was happening on that computer and the commercial begins. So when you walk up into a computer, you see that commercial going and talking about this machine and the software and whatever. So you can't just work and then turn around and talk to people and then ignore the computer, because then it'll reset and it'll wipe out everything that you were doing. So I have my thumb drive. I save my work. I still engage. I talk to people. Bring stickers. Bring something to give away so that when people come up to talk to you because you're sitting there drawing, you hand them a sticker. You hand them a card. The point is that by being nice and going out to places, you have access to other things that you don't have to go and buy at the store. It'd be nice if you had the budget, and if you had the budget, great. I don't have that budget for a $3,000 Surface Studio. So what I do, I go into the store. I got to know the manager. I know the events manager. I do events and classes and workshops at the Microsoft Store, and I get to use whatever machine I want for as long as I want, as long as it's sitting there on the table. There, that's a tip. Start now. Start getting out, communicating, collaborating, creating, podcasting. Start your podcast. When I started my podcast, it was an iPhone. It was just a phone. It was actually an Android phone. And I had the phone sitting out. Happy New Year, Billy. Appreciate you. Had my iPhone just sitting out. And it was recording audio just on the phone, just like this. And I would sit in between. It would sit the phone in between the people who were all talking, and they would capture the audio. And then I would grab that audio, open in GarageBand, add the intro and the out and some credits and so on. Done. Podcast. You don't have to say for the biggest microphone. You don't have to say for the latest technology. It's nice to have it, but whatever you have right now, start now. All right? That's my message for today. It is December 31st. It is time to go ahead and handle your career the way you want to see the results that you want to see in your life. Delta Tango Mike. Check me out. Art is King. We have a lot of these talks on Art is King, a lot of resources. artistking.org. Art is King on YouTube. And artistking_ATL on Twitter and Instagram. I am Delta Tango Mike. Find me anywhere on the internet. Delta Tango Mike. On Behance, I am The Creative Genius. On Patreon, I am Delta Tango Mike, and I share a lot of my files and resources when it comes to digital art. And then stay tuned for more things that are coming up in 2020. Our schedule's filling up. My wife and I, we have a summer camp, Buttercup Steam. We teach girls how to build robots and learn to code. Registration for that is going to open at the end of January. In January, February, and March, we have a series of events at the Microsoft Store. I bring in professional artists who are going to draw and share their workflows and talk about their resources. And then Lord Yada and I, we have an art show at the beginning of February. It's called Mass Men. And we got a ton of artwork that we're working on for that. And it's, you can't see it. Oh, let me turn that off. That's crazy. See? It's right here. Let's see. There it is. Right there. There's some artwork back there you can't see. That I'm going to actually stream it when I'm working on it. So you'll see more about that. All right. Put things into your calendar. Keep track of a calendar. Plan your goals and into small, actionable items that you can work on today. Start now. Thank you, Miss Sandy. Good to see you again. Everybody out there on the internet, we'll talk to you soon. This is Delta Tango Mike, the art life all day, baby. Peace.